Hey, howdy, it is time for a new gateway to Geats. And boy, howdy, did a lot of things happen this week in Tokusatsu. By the way, you should go listen to Twit, Modular Media, link in the description. Dawn Brothers ended its run. Dawn Brothers is now finished, and we're going to get a new Super Sentai series coming up soon. All that kind of stuff. And well, Geats had an episode that was basically a clip show. Yeah, it's a clip show. I mean, the framing device was ultimately good. I was just taken aback. I thought we were gonna really ramp up into the next step of the plot, but no, it's just to take a second. Let's re-examine where we've been and all the information we have, and it's a clip show. I wonder if that has anything to do with the fact that this was Dawn Brothers ending, and it was like, hey, maybe don't do super much to make sure Dawn Brothers gets a really good shine, you know? I don't know. I don't want to say that it was that, but it could be. But yeah, no, in the universe, it's a clip show that the Desire Grand Prix are using to basically try and stall for time while they try and solve the problem. So it's just going like, hey, this is the Desire Grand Prix, here are the cool players, and all this kind of stuff to promote I bumped my mic. Promote all this stuff. And through the framing device, we do see a lot of really interesting character work, specifically with sponsors and their writers. First things first, we have Ace, and we get a little bit of backstory. See, it turns out that Jin, yeah, that's right, Zin, saw Ace as a high school student see the Yamato and not give a fuck and just immediately start attacking them. Okay, that's interesting, and it completely goes against everything we've been told about Ace so far. But here's the thing, I don't think it does exactly. It definitely feels like he knows more than he's letting on, because like when he sees the Yamato, he's not running away in fear. He's like, oh, you guys. He recognizes them almost. He fights them, does all that kind of stuff. He already has the combat prowess of doing something like this. And that's something we have seen, that you have to have a certain kind of mindset to have that kind of, like, any kind of combat prowess whatsoever in the game. And you have to be like, yeah, like Kawa didn't have any combat ability, Neon didn't have any combat ability, but returning people, they have that combat ability, so on and so forth, that kind of thing. And we do see Samuri give Ace his belt and do all that kind of stuff, and what Ace said was just a simple, "Hey, no, huh?" But it was so specifically delivered. It was a very forced delivery. It felt like Ace was going, this is what I should be saying, because I don't know what's going on, but I know exactly what's going on. There's something there, don't know what it is, but it's interesting. We also have Kawa having a conversation with the frog dude. It's a fun little conversation of just him going like, yeah, dude, you risked your life to save someone else, and you didn't have any powers. That, to me, that makes you a Kamen Rider. You deserve to be a hero. You deserve the chance to, like, achieve world peace. And like, oh, I really like Frog Guy, because he's very much like, no, heroism, good guys win, that kind of thing. And Neon doesn't get to talk to her sponsor, but her sponsor talks to her in the form of magical letters. And we get some information that way. And he's just like, we learn later on who it is. We see him. Well, I mean, we have already seen him. Haha, hint, hint. And it's just like, I just want you to be happy. All that kind of stuff. There's probably some deeper things going on there. Whomst knows. But the broadcast gets interrupted. The Yamato crew hack the broadcast, and Baroba basically goes like, ha, guess what? I got the belt. So guess what? We're stopping the Desire Grand Prix. It's now the Yamato Grand Prix. Whichever Yamato goes and kills the producer and gets me the other belt will get their desire. And it's just like, oh crud, things that were bad are getting worse. Oh no. And of course Buffa is also like encouraged to go and do that because he's already part of Yamato, all that kind of stuff. Blah 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 blah. The Yamato though go out, start attacking anybody and everybody because it's just like, okay, cool, just fucking do whatever and try to accomplish your goal, because it is shown to us that the Yamato are gaining sentience, that they are becoming a developing culture and all that kind of stuff, and that it is cruel to just treat them as pawns for a game show, essentially. But people are getting hurt, and all of our riders go like, yo, can't stand for this. So K-Walk, of course, goes up, be the hero. Neon, of course, goes out, be a hero, all that kind of stuff. And the third person to come out is Ace, and he's just like, oh, hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, no. And they're just like, hey, you're here to help save people, aren't you? And he's like, no. And it's a cute little scene of just like, come on, it's okay to care about people, all that kind of stuff. And he's just like, fine. I can't show my true cards. I can't show my true motivations. I'm still a fox, you know? That to me feels like a hint of what the backstory might have been. On another note, there's an earlier thing where it is talking about like people's desires and everything. And hold on, I screen capped it specifically and I posted it somewhere. I didn't post it on social media. Posted it somewheres. So I can get the exact quote. It was a specific enough quote that I think it's important. The quote was that you can get your desire, and one of the quotes was one even desired an offspring to love and cherish. All right, real quick, I'm fucking laying out a theory. That's Ace. Ace is that person. Or, correction, I might be wrong, because that was done with Neon. Maybe Neon's dad wished for that, and that's why, or Neon's dad or Neon's mom wished for that. I said dad because he's more heavily associated with the DGP, but maybe her mom wished for that, and that's why she's so protective. It's just like, no, you're a wish baby. I can't risk anything with you. That kind of thing. No idea. Who knows? A lot of things interesting going on here. But all our heroes are fighting, doing all that kind of stuff. When the sponsors walk up and go like, yeah, look at our fucking Kamen Riders. They're so cool. Jean is confronting Baroba, all that kind of stuff. And then an old man in, I wouldn't say a tacky suit. There's like a very loud suit. A very loud, bodacious suit. Walks in to go like, who are you? And they go like, oh, come on, you don't recognize me? I thought I looked pretty good. And it turns out it's Frog Dude. And then, Neon sponsor comes in, Kyun's his name, comes in and goes like, hey, what's up? And it's just like, oh, the sponsors are about to fight, and we get a cool big kaiju fight between all of the sponsors. It's really fun, it's really cool. There's a really neat dynamic shot of our Kamen Riders fighting all the Yamato and all of them fighting each other. It's really cool. But that's kind of the end of the episode. We end in the middle of the fight. We don't know what's going to happen yet. We don't know what is going to happen. It's Yamato Grand Prix. So, real short. It's not a ton of meat, because, again, mostly a clip show. Got some really good character setup and really cool character exploration, all that kind of stuff. And it does set up some stuff for the future. What it really feels like is it feels like the first half is definitively much more of a... I won't even say first half. First two thirds is very much a clip show, and the last third is a prologue to the next arc. You know? That's kind of how it feels. And it's not a bad thing. It's just I thought we were going straight into the next arc, and nope, we got a clip show. And who knows, there may have been some news or some reporting that would have been happening. I'm not... You want to know how I make this show? I legitimately just watch the episode, make my notes. I don't look at news unless it's like toy reveals or something like that, but like that's about it. That's about it. I don't really partake much in the news cycle of all this stuff. But hey, This episode, solid. It is a better clip show than it has a right to be. But we got some comments. First things first, from Slime Beast 2003. I feel like the time travel thing isn't just... It feels like there's more to it. Also, Baroba proceeds to turn into something with the rough destructive power of a goddamn nuke, and then sends everyone to hell. They're probably alive. They're still alive, probably, but it's funnier to say this. Yeah, that's one thing that's a little, I wouldn't say disappointing this episode, but it is something that's interesting, is just that the result of all of that is that they have to wear a couple of bandages. I did like Ace having the fucking CM Punk thing, though. It looked cool. It's a nice look, solid look. But yeah, no, there's definitely going to be more to the time travel. But we are one step closer to knowing what the whole truth is. And I feel like we're not going to know the entirety of the picture until we're wrapping into the climax, you know? It's like, oh shit, there's going to be there's going to be revealing stuff till the very end. And Baroba is definitely going to be like a mid-quarter boss. Like, she's not going to be the final boss, but she's the mid-boss right before the final boss. You know what I mean? Like, I have a feeling it's going to be that kind of vibe. Next, from good friend Fish Pop, Jin's gravity manipulation power is pretty cool, and we know. And now we know why the silhouette of Baroba's transformation was so big. Kind of fitting how she also has a bull motif in sponsoring Buffa, but that might be intentional, since Jean kind of shares Geats' fox motif. Yeah, no, a lot. Basically, every one of the sponsors shares their motif with their respective rider. We got Baroba and Buffa both being bull-like, and her being a minotaur. Kyun's is a lion, similar to Nago's cat. The Tycoon and Tycoon and Karika. I'm gonna say Karika. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Frog for in Tanuki don't make sense, but here's the thing: Tycoon's also a ninja, and there's a heavy association with frogs and ninja. So yeah, no, it's definitely interesting, and I wonder if that's indicative of anything. Who knows? But it is cool to see them do that. If it was up to me, though, the sponsor powers would be mid-season upgrades. Like, that's the kind of direction I think it might be going in. Because they are related, and it could be something interesting. Next up, we got two big comments from Sakura Tora. So I'm just going to read both of them. Good chunky stuff, and then I'll respond. So first one's, I think I agree with your line of thought about Ace's first wish, and I wonder if his existence is linear. This was about the idea that Ace wished to be part of every single game, and now they have to take him with them. Is he like the Doctor, only he's being pulled from DGP to DGP whenever the time period goes? There's a line in the OP about breaking through space-time that makes me think it is possibility of higher dimensions or timelines. In the OP, he's trapped by barbed wire and the DGP logo is surrounded by barbed wire. Is it metaphorical for how he's trapped by the DGP and his wish? Is it literal that everyone is trapped in what Baroba's called a playground or a sandbox of whatever world, timeline, artificial dimension they've created and called the 3.5D world? Like, how many times do they reset for that time period season? Does time even advance beyond a certain point in the 3.5D world? I love the science fiction elements Geats has been bringing, and my imagination has been running wild. And then the second comment. It really does recontextualize a lot of characterization of the story. One of the things I love about rewatching early episodes. I feel sorry for the Jimatos, and the Arc Metal becomes more and more sympathetic character. They're intelligent creatures being used as cannon fodder in a game designed for them to lose. No wonder why Archimetal... I'm going to try... Okay. Archimetal. Sure, was trying to evolve them and teach them. Yuri is a horrible from a humanity standpoint. GM compared to Chamari. Chamari wants to let them know the truth. He doesn't hide the fact that it's entertainment, chooses only a few players, and all the players survive. Picking rivals to Ace is helpful and sure. Yuri, meanwhile, quite a few times, like in the Pirate game, where they went from 50 players down to 5, chooses a game that had the Jamatos rampaging civilians. All the players who failed, not retired, only to be fertilizer for the Yamatos for entertainment. How many games did he conduct like this? there is definitely something up with Ace. Just the whole way he acted in the flashback, there is more going on with Ace than we know at this point. There is something up, and it's fascinating that our main character is some of the driving force for most of the mystery we're experiencing. And the time twist adds so goddamn much. But this definitely does recontextualize a lot of the Dramatos, and it's fantastic. You become so sympathetic to them, but you also go like, it adds so much interesting gray because they're being used, they're being abused, but now they're also being used and abused by Baroba for her own wants and desires, and it's just like, oh man, you just want to see them like live out their day happily somewhere else, you know, like be safe somewhere. And the Game Master stuff is an interesting aspect because, like, is time being really reset? Are the civilians safe? What's going on with all this stuff? In that case, here's the thing. If the civilians are safe, where are Keiwa and his sister's parents? They're dead. They're gone. They were killed by Shimato. What's going on? We still haven't revisited that. That is something interesting. And it's definitely a way to like differentiate the two GMs we've had right now. And it really just shows how careless the Desire Grand Prix is with time. Like, they just don't give a shit, essentially. And finally, from Esconde, this episode feels like a huge turning point for the rest of the series, depending on how the time travel elements will be handled. If it really is time travel, as one would guess, then personally, I think that explains why the world is always ending at the conclusion of each DGP. My theory is that them resetting things back to the time period, to that period to normal, coupled with memory wiping to avoid any timeline damage. I could be very wrong, though. Overall, a great episode. Really like that, contrasting how Keiwa and Neon doubted if they could manage without Ace last time. This time, they had a moment to reaffirm themselves that they've grown stronger and that they can reach their ideal worlds. Love Keiwa using the Revolve on to break the Dramato vines, and that he's gotten better with Ninja Boost. Gerika said it best, he really is the definition of a Kamen Rider. Also, Jin backing off the Watch of Destin duel between Ace and Michidaga fits him so well. Oh yeah, the time stuff is very interesting right now, and it's given us a lot of, what could be happening. But really, only time will tell. That's the only way we'll truly understand. And Keiwa and Neon have really stepped into being heroes on their own. It's great, it's fantastic. And it's just really good to see them, like, really just, like, they're on their own. They don't need Ace to back them up. This episode, when they run out, it's just great. It just shows them being really heroic. And then Ace being a little cheeky bitch and them calling him out. It's great. I love them as a trio. I don't want to see any of them betray each other now, because we already got that with Neon being the disaster. We don't need that anymore. Like, no, they're a group. They're a trio. They're good. They're together. They're doing it, you know? Let's do it. Let's move forward. But yeah, that is it for this Gateway to Geats. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like always, you can like it, you can comment, you can subscribe to the channel, and you can do so much more, such as check out my other YouTube videos. A lot of them are pretty fun. You can follow me on a variety of social media networks: Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, TikTok. All those are linked in the description. And I stream on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Boingo Rider. Link to that is also in the description. Go follow me there and you'll see some live stuff. In fact, I've been editing these videos. They're live every single week. So if you'd like to see me do that, come on down. We'll see. You can see it. But that's it for this Gateway to Geats. Till next time, keep on Geatsing on.